Dan Illman, Matt Birney are race number 10 at Monmouth Park on Haskell Sunday as the Grade 3 Molly Pitcher Stakes for fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th. $100,000 is the purse. If you have a new DRF Bets account, you can play this race, you can play this card, you can play coast to coast this weekend with a $150 sign-up bonus. It's easy. Go to drf.com/bet. Here's the field for the Molly Pitcher. I think this is a pretty fascinating race from a pace standpoint because you've got a couple of horses in the number 3 Divine Miss Gray, the number 6 Unchained Melody. They've got some speed, but they've also got some questions to answer. Distance perhaps for Divine Miss Gray and form for Unchained Melody.
100% agree. I mean, really, that's what this race boils down to. Divine Miss Gray is the horse in the best form. We know what she's capable of on her best day. She kind of answered the two-turn question most recently in that Lady Secret, but that was at a mile and a 16th, and I understand she barely got it done, but she's probably going to be having a lot more pace pressure early on from Unchained Melody, and you brought up Unchained Melody. I have no idea if she can still run. The blinkers going on, though, that to me indicates they've got one way to go, and that's they're going to send her.
And we'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector because there's going to be a red bar. It indicates a fast pace. You've got the 3 Divine Miss Gray out there, and yes, she did pass the two-turn test last time out, but Danny Gargan and the connections have been very reluctant to stretch her out around 2 turns. As a matter of fact, that was her first and only 2-turn race from 18 lifetime starts. She was 2-5, and for a brief second there, turning into the stretch, it looked like she was in pretty hot water against some inferior competition. So I wonder, with a faster pace on tap, with some better horses pressuring her, maybe at a short price you're supposed to try to beat her, although she does have some very strong credentials.
Yeah, again, she has the highest last out buyer in the field with a 95, but I think the way that you laid that out, to me, of all the shorter priced horses on Sunday at Monmouth, she might be the one that's ripe to take down because of what you laid out. Perhaps that situation where you're going to have to deal with a little bit more heat this time around. Maybe that final 16th, it's a little bit tall for you.
As for Unchained Melody, after her first 4 starts, it appeared Brian Lynch had a budding star on his hands. She won 3 of those first 4, including the prestigious Grade 2 Mother Goose Stakes, but she was injured after being vanned off in the Alabama, and her 2 starts this year have been subpar. I guess you could make excuses. One was her first start off a long layoff in the Grade 2 Ruffian, and you could give her that race. And last time out in the Ogden Phipps, she was in against champion Abel Tasman, so she does get some class relief here. The blinkers go back on. I have a feeling there's still something here with Unchained Melody, but I might be in the minority.
I don't even know what to make of her at this point, simply because, like you say, she has excuses. The Ruffian off the layoff, not going to hold that against her. The Ogden Phipps, don't want to hold that against her. But now the blinkers going on and off, that at least indicates to me that even Brian Lynch isn't certain what there is left here in the tank. Before she got hurt, she was really, really good. The problem is I'm not convinced that she has come back. Now, look, maybe she doesn't need to be the same horse that won that Mother Goose in order to win a race like this on Sunday. There is also a part of me, though, that does wonder, you know, I understand she's only done it once in her career. I think she's probably better going 1 turn, and I know she's only gone 2 turns, and it was the Alabama, and that was a disaster, draw a line through it. But she just has always felt like, to me, kind of a 7/8 horse, try to bottom them out. Blinkers go on, perhaps she can steal this one, but I just have a hard time imagining her clearing off that easy with the other horse, Divine Miss Gray, in here.
A third horse that could be part of the pace situation is the 2 Disco Rose, moving turf to dirt. This horse came from off the pace, 2 starts back against Pennsylvania breds, finished second. Her best races have come when she's on the lead. I'm not sure if she's fast enough to make the lead, and from her recent Beyer speed figure, she's probably not good enough to win.
I was going to say, if you believe some of the Timeform US pace ratings, she might be fast enough to run with those 2. I'm very dubious. I don't think she's got the early gas to go with them.
A sharp closer that would benefit from a quick and contested pace is the number 7, Dream Call. 4-1 on the morning line. Luis Saez takes the mount. This horse has won her last 3 races for trainer Steve Asmussen, including the Iowa Distaff most recently at Prairie Meadows, where I thought she received a very crafty ride from Ricardo Santana. After breaking from the outside post, she was taken immediately to the rail. She had a little bit of pace to run at. She had a lot of work to do at the 3/16 pole, but she kicked down those horses late despite swapping leads a few times in the stretch. She's improving slightly. She might get the right pace set up, but then I consider Monmouth, and it's a track that's usually very speed friendly. Does that play against Dream Call even with a favorable pace scenario?
You know what? I think in a normal circumstance, when you would be talking about possibly 2 of the pace setters being super quality runners and not having many questions, I think that would be a scenario where, yeah, she's probably up against it, considering we have distance questions about Divine Miss Gray. There are questions about fitness and overall ability still with Unchained Melody, and they're going to be the ones that are setting the tempo. To me, Dream Call, if you're looking for a horse to come from off of it, that might be a decent number, and she's probably a little bit better than the speed figures would indicate. I think there's a lot of reasons to be intrigued by Dream Call.
Valedictorian goes out for a top trainer in Kelly Breen, and this filly is in very sharp form. She just won a stakes race against fellow New Jersey breds on the turf. She is certainly capable on the dirt. The last time she raced on dirt, she finished ahead of Special Event, who's turned into a really nice turf horse for Shug McGahee, now graded stakes placed and running in a graded race earlier on the Monmouth card. A horse with good tactical speed. I think she'll tuck in the second flight behind the speeds and might be able to work something out while saving ground.
Maybe she gets the jump on some of the deeper closers. The problem is I think the deeper closers are more talented than she is, so you're going to need just the perfect storm of things to go right, or if you're a fan of Valedictorian. It's not that she can't win, I just don't love her chances.
Squan's Kingdom was beaten 17 lengths by Divine Miss Gray in the Lady's Secret, and she's simply going to have to improve. Maybe she'll get a better setup this time around, but you could also argue that there are better closers in the race.
I think she's another one of those fillies. I know she is already stakes placed, but I think the connections would be thrilled if they just got a piece.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Molly pitcher. You're going to go with Burn to pop 2 starts back at Monmouth over a wet track in the Serena's Song Stakes. Last time out, just draw a line through it. She was simply overmatched against Abel Tasman in the Grade 1 Phipps, a race in which they were probably simply going for a Grade 1 placing. Burned, it might be the best closer in this race. She's going to get a pace set up. She's 3-1 on the line with Joe Bravo. She's very dangerous, especially over this track.
To be honest, I've been disappointed with her overall career. I expected her to be better than she has turned into, but at the same time, the fact that she has won at Monmouth on both starts, both occasions that she's run there, I know one of them was that sloppy sealed track 2 starts back in the Serena Song, but she has won on a fast track at Monmouth in the past, and the fact that she's probably going to get a tremendous pace set up in front of her. If you think that there are questions that we had laid out with those 2 more logical front runners, I think Burned is the one that can come and run them all down.
Here's my out-of-the-box pick, and I'm interested in your thoughts on the 4 Viva Forever. Trainer Lou Linder's winning at Parks at a good rate. He's had a couple of winners at this Monmouth meet, and this is just a filly who was on the wrong surface for most of her career. Being trained in Canada, she was forced to run on synthetic and on turf, but ever since she's had a chance to step on the dirt, she's won 5 of 7 starts, including 4 in a row. Now, last time out, I realize it was only a $12,500 starter allowance, but they weren't going very fast up front, and she just inhaled that field en route to a 7-length win. She has to run faster by a good margin, but she's a mid-pack runner that can get a good trip. Maybe she can pull off a mild upset.
She's another one that's likely to get the jump on those 2 horses drawn to the outside, the 7 and the 8. So if you think that this could be a bit of a closer's feel or a closer's flow, she probably has the jump on the deepest closers. My concern is what you alluded to, the class situation where, okay, it's one thing to do it against 12-5 starter allowance company, and not that this field is littered with superstars, but it is going to be a significant hike, and she is going to need to run faster.
You're going to go with Burned in here. Give me numbers.
8-3-7-1.
I'm going 4-3-6-7 in the Grade 3 Molly Pitcher Stakes, race number 10 at Monmouth on Haskell Sunday, a race you can play with your very own DRF Bets account. Sign up, get $150 on us. DRF.com/bet is where you need to go. An approximate post time for the Grade 3 Molly Pitcher is 4:36 Eastern. Good luck.